Well, I never knew that. It's time for part one of Jim Jam's Q&A. Let's go. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. And yes, today is the Jim Jam Q&A video. Now, I've decided to break it down into two parts because I have had a lot of questions. I've had a lot of great response to video I put out. So basically, a couple of videos ago, I decided that I wanted to do a Q&A video. So I did a little bit of a brief introduction, asking you guys to ask me questions down below in the comments of stuff you wanted to find out about me. And yeah, the response, guys, it has been just absolutely fantastic. So before I get on with the questions, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has asked me a question. I've decided to break it down into two parts, like I said. So I've got a few questions in this video, and I'm going to end the video, and then I will record another separate video with the second part. Okay, so yes, so thank you so much to everybody. And yeah, should we get straight on with the Q&A? Here we go. So the first question comes from Jalapeno J. And Jalapeno J wants to know, what is your second favourite film? Now, this was a bit of a tough one for me because I've got a list of 5 films and the order changes from the mood I'm in. So one day this can be number 2 and then other days this can be further up. But yeah, I think my answer to that one is going to be E.T. Purely because I have fond memories as growing up as a child watching it, being slightly scared of it. I'm not going to lie and sweet sugarcoat it, but yeah, I was scared as E.T. as a child. Because yeah, it was always that scene when you know the bit when he comes out the bushes and he goes down and he goes, "Wee!" That bit always used to freak me out as a child. But yeah, I have seen E.T. Oh gosh, I've lost the count how many times I've seen it. It's just one of them films that, yeah, you know the bits are coming, but it still gets you right there. And even watching it as an adult, you know, yeah, it's just very, very emotional. So I'm going to say my second favourite film is E.T. You all know my top one, but I think somebody else has asked that in a question further down the line. So yeah, I hope that's answered your question, Jalapeno J. Next, we have got, now this is KOTDT1, and he wants to know, what is your rarest network you own? What title is the rarest network I own? Now, this was a bit of a tough one for me because obviously I've got quite a big collection and a lot of the titles in my collection are quite hard. Some of them are quite harder to get, especially the ones that haven't been re-released by Old Gold Media. The ones that was put out by like Yorkshire Television and ATV and yeah, some of those, so HTV is another one. So I've got 2, I hope that's allowed. I've got 2 that are quite sought after. And the first one is a series from the 70s. Now this one goes for silly money online. If you look online, you'll see this goes for about £80 plus in some cases. And it's a series called Sky. Now, I am very lucky to get this because when Network had a sale, this was about 2 years before they went bust. This was on sale and I kept umming and ahhing whether to get it. And it was I remember one Sunday afternoon, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. And I had this on sale for like, I think it was about £3 or £4. That was with postage as well, so I decided to go for it, and it is such a good little show. It's very of its time, but yeah, it was a really good show, and yeah, I'm so happy to get this in the collection. And yeah, it's one of those that you can't really get that well. Like I say, it's quite harder to get. And there is another one. Now, this is one that I picked up on Blu-ray at just the right time, because the prices of this are all over the place at the minute, and this is one that I did want in the collection. And yeah, I'm so happy that I have actually got the complete collection on Blu-ray, and I have sat down and watched nearly all of these, and it is the Hammer House of Horror on Blu-ray. Now this one is, when this was on sale, I picked it up like again off Network's website, and it was for like £11. I did post it to a lot of people when the offer was on. I think Jamie Powell might have, I might have messaged Jamie Powell about it. I think he might have picked it up. But this is one that I really enjoyed, and I believe this one to be quite rare as well. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. So I'm going to go Sky, and I'm going to go Hammer House of Horror, the TV series. The next question comes from George Felix over at the Movie Tomb, and he wants to know what my favourite TV show from the 70s, the 80s and the 90s, and I can only choose one show from each of the decades. Oh, that is a good question, George. So we'll start with the 70s. A favourite show from the 70s. Oh dear me. I really like On the Buzzes. There's something about On the Buzzes that I really like. I like the chemistry between all the characters. I like the storylines, even though some of the later series are not that great. But the early ones with Reg Varney, just comedy gold, absolutely comedy gold. So for the 70s, I'm going to go On the Buzzes. The 80s, oh. So it doesn't just have to be comedy, does it? It can be any genre. Any TV show from the 80s. Ooh, that is... Oh, I think you've got me on the 80s. Ooh, I can't think. I'm getting the old head scratching now. Let me have a think. Right, I'm going to go for Only Fools and Horses, the early series from the 80s. I know you're thinking it's a bit of a cop-out, but the early episodes with Grandad and Del and Rodney are just comedy gold. So yeah, I'm going to say the early episodes of Fools and Horses, definitely. And we got the 90s, what is one of my favourite shows from the 90s. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with something like Keeping Up Appearances for the 90s. Because I've recently started rewatching them again with my wife, and they've not lost any of their humour at all. They're still as funny, still as clever, still as, yeah, amazing as ever. So I'm going to go Keeping Up Appearances from the 90s. I did really enjoy that show, and I have watched them numerous times over and over again. And they never stop being funny. For my next question, we're going to cross over to Ian, the Ramblings Hill.
Right, James. Which is the Holy Grail network title that you would love to have in your collection?
So Ian wants to know, what is the Holy Grail network title that I'd love to have in my collection? Now, there is just one answer for this, and I think a lot of you network fans out there will know the answer. It's one that will cost you the cost of a small house, yes, nowadays, is of course the Noel Gordon Crossroads set. I think there's 90 discs. That is like the holy pinnacle of DVD collecting. It's every episode pretty much that Noel Gordon starred in Crossroads. Now, I do have a few of the Crossroads DVDs in the volumes. I've got volumes 1 and 2 and volumes 3. But yeah, having the complete, that box set with all that archive footage and all that bonus like booklets, and oh wow. But yeah, it's about £200 and odd now. But when it got released on Network the first time round on the website, I think the original retail price was about £130. So I'm going to say the complete Network release of Crossroads, definitely. That's one I'd really love to get one day. Or perhaps the London's Burning sets as well, because I know they're quite pricey. I did make a dream come true this year by getting for a really good price the complete Heartbeat set, the Nick Rowan years 1 to 7. So that was one of the big box sets I wanted to get. But I'm going to say Crossroads. Next up, we have got the legend, Mr. Big Paulie, and he says, "Hey matey, if you had the ability to bring back any TV show from the last 50 years and add more seasons to the show, what would you choose? And by the way, all the actors will be the same age as they were when it was first shown." Okay, so what show would I choose in the last 50 years? I'm going to go with, I know a few people might say this answer, I'm going to go with Fawlty Towers, because even though there were only 12 episodes made of Fawlty Towers, I reckon it would have been good to see a few more, at least another series at least, to see what happens with the characters, see where I can go next with it. I absolutely love Fawlty Towers, and if we keeping the characters the way they were back then, like John Cleese and Prunella Scales, the way there was then, and just keeping to the constant comedy which keeps flowing throughout the episodes, and I think it'd just be great fun to revisit and to see what happened next. If we keep him all the same age, like, and Manuel as well. Where would Manuel go next on his journey? Like, would he turn out to be the manager of Fawlty Towers, or would Basil Fawlty end up leaving? So yeah, I'm gonna go Fawlty Towers for that one, Big P. And the final question of this video is from my good friend Scott over at Scotty's Movies. And he asked me, what was the first VHS, a DVD and Blu-ray that I bought? Wow, that is a good question. So the first VHS I bought, well, I've got to jog my memory back a bit because it's been a few years. So I think one of the first VHSs I bought, I do remember going to Woolworths. You youngsters probably won't have heard of Woolworths, but yeah, there used to be a shop called Woolworths. No, we won't go into the story of Woolworths. I do remember buying Independence Day on video, so that would have been about 96. Well, the film came out in 96, it probably got released about 97. And I remember getting it because when you got it from Woolworths, you got a free bonus tape with the making of, and it was like in a cardboard slip. That's a memory. Also, another early VHS I remember buying was the Spice World movie. I'm not ashamed to admit it, the Spice World movie, because I remember getting it because it come with a nice green tape, and you had it in a metal tin, and you could choose which Spice Girl you wanted. And I remember I randomly chose Jerry, so I had the Jerry tin, and them are quite collectible now, I believe, those tins. So yeah, Spice World. So what was the first DVD? Well, the first DVD I remember owning was actually bought for me as a Christmas present. I can remember, I think it was the 3 that I had, because it was part of the bundle. So it was Meet the Parents, it was Aeroplane, and I think I had series 3 of the Royal Family. And yeah, Deep Blue Sea, that was another one. That was another one. My parents bought it as like a package with all the DVDs included. So yeah, and the first Blu-ray I bought, oh, that's a tough one. And it shouldn't be tough because VHS and DVD was before Blu-ray. So what I think the memory I can remember was my first Blu-ray that I got brought, because I didn't buy my first Blu-ray, and it was the Back to the Future trilogy when it first come out on Blu-ray, and it was like really, really expensive. And my girlfriend at the time, now wife, bought it me as a birthday present, and I was just over the moon with it. So yeah, Back to the Future was the first Blu-ray, the Back to the Future trilogy. So guys, that completes part 1 of the Jim Jam Q&A. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, guys, please hit that like button. Please share and please subscribe. And I'll be back very soon with part 2 with some more questions that need answering. So yeah, take care, guys. Have a great day. Cheers for now, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.